Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bexar County Court at Law number 6, the Bexar County Veteran Treatment Court. Today is a motion to revoke probation docket. What I have on my docket is cause number 631996, State of Texas versus Kristen Lloyd, represented by Mr. Thomas Beck. Cause 625062, State of Texas versus Christopher Velos, represented by, I guess initially it was Mr. Derek Ritchie, and now it's Miss Sydney Reese.
Reed.
Thank you. And I've got cause 627171, State of Texas versus Larietta Holmes, represented by Miss Melanie Lira. Cause 648384, State of Texas versus Carissa Navarro, represented by Mr. Robert Maurer. Cause 549982, State of Texas versus Tommy Reinhardt, represented by Mr. Patrick Lamas. And 647781, State of Texas versus Anajo Garcia, represented by Mr. Alan Braun. And 571024, State of Texas versus Talia Heron, represented by Mr. Junius Hicks. Representing the state will be Mr. Guillermo Flores and Miss Megan Galloway. Representing the Bexar County CSCD is Miss Susan Gross, who I will swear at this time. Miss Gross, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Okay, my understanding is we're ready to go forward on Miss Garcia's case 647781. Is that correct, Mr. Braun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's do that. This is cause 647781, State of Texas versus Anajo Garcia, represented by Mr. Alan Braun. This is, stand by.
And Your Honor, Mr. Poncio is also here on behalf of Ms. Garcia.
I'm sorry, who's representing who now?
Your Honor, I am also representing Ms. Garcia, Adam Poncio. Unfortunately, I have to step away in about 3 minutes for a federal court hearing, but I just am appearing on her behalf as well.
Okay, so we've got Mr. Braun and Mr. Poncio. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, fair enough. Thank you for correcting that. Okay, this is a first amended motion to revoke community supervision. And I'm first looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference, allegedly signed by both Ms. Garcia and Mr. Braun. In fact, Ms. Garcia, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I've got Mr. Braun's signature on this, although Mr. Poncio is also an attorney involved. Mr. Braun, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Braun, as attorney for Ms. Garcia, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes.
My understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Garcia, in cause 647781 to the charge or first amended motion to revoke community supervision. How do you plead, ma'am? And counsel, what I normally do is either take true with an explanation or not true with an explanation, whichever y'all would prefer under the circumstance.
Yes, Your Honor.
True with an explanation, Your Honor.
Fair enough. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. Garcia's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Garcia has reported as directed. We last saw her on July 7th of 2021. She has paid $592 towards her fees, has a balance of $891, and she is current at this time. She was not assessed any community service hours. She's completed DWI education, victim impact panel, and we have no proof of completion of the CATSNP program. She's had 3 negative drug tests. She's currently testing on Smart Start Mobile at 4 times per day. She's had a total of 14 skips and 3 high BRACs, registering at 0.19, 0.21, and 0.22, and all of those did occur in 1 day. This is her first violation report, first motion to revoke. She has no criminal history. Her officer is recommending that her Smart Start Mobile be increased to 6 times per day and that she be registered for all of her remaining classes within 30 days.
And Ms. Garcia has no priors, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, my primary question is, why are we missing so many blows? What's going on?
Hi, Your Honor. Honestly, it's because I feel like I have a busy schedule and I do have 3 kids, and I know that's not the best.
You muted, yeah.
I'm basically a single
Well, I
parent.
mean, if you're not gonna blow in the machine, we can't use that machine. It's just not gonna work. We're gonna have to go to a scram bracelet, and that's gonna cost $350 a month. Is that something you would be willing to do to stay out of jail?
Yes, sir, if that's what you're saying that I need to do.
And you understand you have 3 children. Are you working also?
Yes,
I mean,
I am.
obviously that's work. We all understand that's work also, but do you have
Yes.
another job also?
Yes, sir, I do. I work.
You work where? I'm sorry?
At an attorney's office.
She works at our firm, Your Honor, during the day.
Ah! Did they give you a discount on fees? Because I've heard this firm is very expensive.
No
Okay.
discount, no discount. Don't even mention
I
that.
got it. State recommendation?
Stay with probation, Your Honor.
Judge, she did sign up for the CAT SNP program, which was the only missing program. She took her first class on Tuesday. It's an 8-week program. Her kids are, I believe, 4, 2, and 10. I'm sorry, 4, 8, and 10. So you can understand her dealing with these 3 kids when she gets home. Her husband works out of town and she's a primary caretaker. So I told her she needed to start setting her alarm whenever it is she needs to blow into the machine if you allow that to continue.
Okay, Ms. Garcia, in cause 647-781, the court accepts her plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I deny the state's motion to revoke your probation or to continue on probation with all prior requirements. With the altering and amending addition of a scram bracelet within 10 days, I'm going to want a minimum of 60 days on the scram bracelet. If you do well on the scram bracelet and we get no violations, I will be happy to put you back on the Smart Start mobile device at 4 blows a day, which is where we are now. But you got to blow in the machine. That'll save you a lot of money. But if once again you don't blow in the machine, I got 2 options: scram and jail. And neither one is really helpful for you. So show me a good 60 days on the scram bracelet, and we'll take that off, put you back on Smart Start for the duration of your probation. And everyone have a nice day. I'm also going to require substantial compliance within 10 days. It sounds like you've already done that. Basically, anything you haven't registered for in the way of programs, you need to register for those. You may not get started in 10 days on them, but you'll at least be registered and you know what's coming. Susan, what did I miss?
That's all.
State, what did I miss? I didn't do anything bad to Ms. Garcia. That's not good. Aren't we supposed to punish Ms. Garcia for being bad? We're not going to do that. Hey, Ms.
Your Honor,
Garcia, that's what the plan is. Thanks for your help. Defense, is that okay with you?
yes, Your Honor. Ms. Benavides asked me to remind you to have the warrant recalled.
I'm going to recall warrant any other bad things I may have done to her in pretrial bond conditions. All recalled.
And Ms. Garcia, in the next 24 hours, you'll be receiving alternate amended conditions along with a referral sheet to get your scram device. So look for that email from Ms. Olmos, okay? It may not be today, it may be tomorrow morning. If you don't have it by like 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, give her a call, okay?
Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Garcia?
No, Your Honor.
Thank
No,
you,
Your
Ms.
Honor.
Garcia. Thank you, Mr. Braun. Thank you, Mr. Poncio. Go do federal stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Beck, are we ready on Ms. Lloyd?
Ready, Judge, we're ready.
Clause 631-996, State of Texas versus Kristen Lloyd, represented by Mr. Thomas Beck. All the ADAs and the CSCD representatives are as previously stated. I remind Ms. Gross she's still under oath. Ms. Lloyd, in clause 631-996, the first document I need you to identify is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Beck, as attorney for Ms. Lloyd, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Lloyd?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And once again, Mr. Beck, as attorney for Ms. Lloyd, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. My understanding is this is an uncontested motion. Is that accurate, defense?
Accurate.
Okay. Ms. Lloyd, in cause 631996 on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. How do you plead, ma'am?
True.
And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. Lloyd's probation?
Yes, sir. Ms. Lloyd has been reporting as directed. We last saw her on July 19th, 2021. She has paid $402 towards her fees, has a balance of $625.
I'm showing Ms. Gross frozen on my screen. Is everybody else seeing the same thing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Susan, can you hear me? Because you're frozen on the screen. I don't really know what that means. Pat, what do we do? Your microphone's turned, there you go.
If she's frozen, I don't know what I can tell you, Your Honor. I don't know that we can get. I'll text her right now.
Text her and tell her she may need to sign out and sign back in and see if that works.
Judge, I can read her report to you. Especially the positive parts. There's a lot of positive parts to read to you. I could go over those now.
I think the law is going to require that we have Ms. Gross do that, but other than that, thank you for the offer.
Okay. She's probably got an off to come back in, Your Honor. Just. Okay, she's coming back in now, Your Honor.
Susan, can you hear me? Your microphone's turned off. Now you're cooking.
All right, I don't know what happened, Judge. I had to go out and come all the way back in.
I understand. All good. We're back on the record on cause 631996, State of Texas versus Kristen Lynn Lloyd. And my last request of you was to advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. Lloyd's probation.
Yes, sir. She's been reporting as directed. We last saw her on July 19th, 2021. She's paid $402 towards her fees, has a balance of $625, and is delinquent $4. She's completed 14 of her 40 hours of community service, as well as the drug offender education class. We do not show that she is enrolled in or completed the firearms safety course. She has had 5 positive drug tests, 1 diluted drug test. 3 of those drug tests were positive for methamphetamines, 1 of which was confirmed, and 2 for amphetamines. She has 1 prior arrest for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. Her officer is recommending weekly drug testing, and register for all remaining classes within 5 days.
Okay. Defense, I don't have a lot of options with heavy drugs. It's either the defendant volunteers to go to the substance abuse treatment facility for a minimum of 120 days, or I've got revocation, unless you know something I don't know, but I'm happy to hear it. What is y'all's position?
Well, I will point out that her prior case was dismissed. She reported, she did all this positive stuff. She's accepting responsibility. She has 4 kids. Judge, she's got 17 days in, or she's been in since the 19th, and that's pretty severe. I'm pretty sure that you would have to ask her if you're not going to continue her on the probation as recommended, and the DA's recommending continuation. If you would ask her about the drug rehab program, I think that she's leaning towards taking that. That's where we're at, Judge. She's accepting responsibility.
I'm sorry, she's leaning toward taking what program? I'm sorry.
You would have, if we would still ask that you continue her with the recommendations that are made by probation, and the state is recommending the same recommendations. But if you're not going to do that, Judge, considering that she's been sanctioned in jail and she's got the 4 kids, if you would ask her about the drug rehab, it's up to her. I think that she would take it, but we're just pleading. This is her first MTR. She's never been on probation before. She's been sanctioned in court, and she does have the 4 kids at home. So her life is in your hands, Judge.
All right, Ms. Lloyd, here's my 2 options.
Yes, sir.
My experience and the experience of most experts, and we've got Ms. Gross here to help us on that, is anytime somebody's involved or addicted to heavy drugs, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, the only possible chance we have of changing the way they think about the use of narcotics is inpatient rehabilitation. I understand you have 4 children. The best thing I or anyone else can possibly do for you is give you an opportunity to rehabilitate yourself off of these heavy drugs, and that will enhance your ability to be a good parent. Now, I can order you over there, but if you're just going to sit there and not pay attention, that doesn't really help anybody. I want you to volunteer if you are willing to do so. The option, if you don't volunteer, for SATF, Substance Abuse Treatment Facility. Susan, correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is there are open beds there now, and that Ms. Lloyd would have to go to jail for probably plus or minus 2 weeks to get medically cleared, and then would go straight to the facility. Is that not your understanding?
Yes, and right now for all the medical clearance with everything going on, it's 3 to 4 weeks prior to being going over there. And then, of course, the 120 days at SATF.
All right. 120 days is the minimum time. You can stay as long as 180. I would just order the minimum. And that's what we're looking at. The other alternative, if you don't wish to do that, and that would mean you stay on probation. I would leave you on deferred for unlawfully carrying a handgun, which is one of the most serious offenses we see in this court. So she would stay on deferred. She would volunteer to go to SATF. She would stay there a minimum of 120 days. And then she would come out and still be on probation. The only alternative other than that is for me to revoke her and give her a year in jail. I don't know what the sheriff quotient is now. It may be 3 for 1. It may be 2 for 1, but she'd be looking at that. Defense, do you want to go into a breakout room and chat with Ms. Lloyd about those 2 options and see what y'all would like to do?
Judge, I've already chatted with her extensively on those 2 options, and I think that you can ask her now. And
all right, Ms. Lloyd, do you have any questions on my 2 options for you?
No, sir, I don't have any questions.
Which one would you like to go after?
The drug treatment program.
Wonderful. State recommendation, I assume that's okay with you?
Yes, Your Honor, the state has no objections to that.
Wonderful. Ms. Lloyd, in cause 631-996, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I deny the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation, or you continued on deferred adjudication probation with all prior requirements, altering the amending conditions, adding 120 days in the substance abuse treatment facility. As of right now, you're going to be remanded without bond in the Bexar County Jail until a treatment bed opens up. And all other requirements of your probation remain the same. Susan, what else do we need to do?
That's all. We'll have to prepare some paperwork and it'll be sent to you there at the jail for you to sign. And then once you sign it, then the judge will sign it and then they will begin the medical procedures. You don't have any serious issues that would preclude you from, you do? Okay, Judge, I need to go into a breakout room and talk to her before we decide on this sentence.
That'd be fine. Can we do that, Pat? And defense counsel, you're welcome to go in there too if you wish.
I will, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Beck, 5, and Susan, let me get you into 5. Okay. Y'all need to join, so, okay, there we go. They're in there now, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Hicks, are we ready to go forward on Miss Heron?
We don't have a probation officer.
Oh, that's good point.
But I will tell you that we've got more people that are ready. Miss Holmes with Miss Lyra is, I believe, ready as well, Your Honor. And let me see who else. I don't know if Sydney is ready with Mr. Velos, but the paperwork has not been signed, so I don't know what's going on there.
Let's talk about that. With regard to cause 625062, State of Texas versus Christopher Alfredo Velos, originally represented by Mr. Derek Ritchie, and apparently Miss Reese has taken over for Mr. Ritchie. Miss Reese, what's going on?
Hey, Judge. Mr. Ritchie signed the paperwork. I don't know if it's just that it needs to go to Mr. Velos, but he told me that he signed it and submitted it.
I do not see that it has been signed. Normally it will come to me and tell me that he has signed the paperwork, Mr. Velos, and I do not have that. So I don't know if he didn't hit finish. He might not have hit finish.
Okay.
He needs to check it and see.
Let me go check in with him.
Okay, thanks.
Pat, am I supposed to confer with somebody on my case?
Mr. Mauer, you've been an attorney for what, 30 years?
I'm still, Judge, it's law practice, not law perfect.
Obviously, you're well aware you're supposed to do any conferring with the state or the probation department far in
What if I don't
advance
like
of the
them?
hearing.
What if you have a really mean probation officer, Judge?
That's the way we like them. Can one of our DAs go and chat with Mr. Mauer in one of the breakout rooms while we're kind of on a break anyway?
Sure. All right, Guillermo, do you want to go?
Don't everybody rush
Yes,
at once?
ma'am.
They're just not real thrilled.
I was muted, sorry.
My reputation precedes me.
Okay,
You can
Mr.
chat.
Go into room 1. Guillermo, go into 1.
Will do.
Mr. Lamas has come in as well. Okay, so we have all attorneys in, Your Honor. And
Hey, Pat.
yes.
Is it possible? Can you resend it to my email? Or just resend it to Derek's? I don't know. He told me he had it, but we were just looking for it and can't find it.
Let me see if he signed it, because they would have it there. Hold on. Let me just get into. Okay, let me see where it went to. I'm just going into the website. That's what's happening. So hold on. I didn't have it up. It's there. It was sent to the Bear County people. So Derek has signed it already. All he needs to do is have the bailiff look at it. Hold on. And I'll tell you the exact time it was sent to. It went at 8:08. So Mr. Velos?
Yes, ma'am.
The deputy, and have the deputy tell him you're looking for paperwork and it has your name on it and it was sent 8:08 this morning.
Okay, yeah, because I haven't received nothing yet.
Well, it's an email and it will go and it'll have your name on it. It goes to the Bear County Jail iPad, their email, and it has your name first and then your cause number. And it was sent, like I said, at 8:08 this morning.
Okay, I'll ask them about that real quick.
Good morning, Pat.
Got Ms.
This
Gross
is
back.
Thomas. Sorry for not voting in.
Your microphone's turned off. Okay, Sue, what did y'all come up with?
Hang on, I'm having sound issues here again. Okay, there we go. Judge, she is not going to qualify to go.
How about for the other one?
No,
Myoff? No Myoff either?
no, she cannot be in one of our residential facilities due to her medical issues.
Okay. Mr. Beck, I assume you're up on all that?
Yes, Judge, my client would just like to address the court briefly.
Sure. Let's go back on the record on 631-996, State of Texas versus Kristen Lloyd. Go ahead, Ms. Lloyd.
Yes, sir. I was opting for the drug treatment program, and I'm sorry that apparently, my health conditions have made me not able to do it. And I understand what you're saying with, the drugs. It's either, do the treatment that I, was wanting to do or do my time, whatever. I'm just asking because of my health conditions, but also because I am trying and I do want to make that difference in myself. If the state was saying drug testing every week, I don't care if they want three months of weekly testing all coming up negative. I'm willing to do what I need to do to prove to myself, to prove to the court, to prove to my family, the people who love me, that I'm not that person anymore. And I think I can do it. I struggled. I fell on my face. I understand that. I messed up, but I can't do the drug treatment program. So I'm trying, I'd like to try and do anything I can to prove to the court.
Okay, Ms. Lloyd, back on 631-996, State of Texas versus Kristen Lloyd. The court having been informed by the CSCD officer, Ms. Gross, that apparently Ms. Lloyd will not be medically qualified to go to one of our SATF or MyOff facilities. I still commend her for volunteering to go. Under those circumstances, I'm going to grant the state's motion to revoke or defer to adjudication probation, adjudicate her guilty of the offense of unlawfully carrying a handgun, sentence her to 6 months in the Bear County Jail instead of the original year that I had proposed, based on the fact that she was at least willing to try to go to inpatient, and I give her 6 month credit for that. Assign a $2,000 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. I don't know this for a fact. My understanding is there are supposedly some sort of drug treatment programs in the Bear County Jail. What you need to do is ask them over there if those are possible and still exist. At one time they did. And if you can find a program to go to and successfully complete it, let your attorney know, he'll let me know, and that might mitigate my thought process on this. Once again, I apologize. I don't know if they exist anymore or not. At one time they did, and they had all kinds of different programs over there. So best of luck. Mr. Beck, anything further on your side?
No, Judge, we appreciate it.
And State, anything further on your side?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Ms. Lloyd. Thank you, Mr. Beck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Lloyd.
Okay, Mr. Hicks, are we ready to go forward on Ms. Heron?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is called 571024, State of Texas versus Talia Heron. This is a first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. The first document I need both of you to identify your signatures on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Ms. Heron, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Hicks is attorney for Mr. Heron. Excuse me, Ms. Heron, is this your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next document I have for y'all to identify signatures on is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Is this your signature? Well, I'm sorry, which is marked as an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Heron?
Yes.
And Mr. Hicks is attorney for Ms. Heron. Is this also your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Hicks, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion or first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Is that accurate?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Heron, in the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke committee supervision under cause number 571024, how do you plead, ma'am?
True.
Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. Heron's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Her reporting has been fair. She's missed 2 months of reporting since she's been placed on probation. We last saw her on July 7th of 2021. She's paid $50 towards her fees, has a balance of $1,002, and is $899 delinquent. She did complete 6 of her 6 hours of community service, and she has also completed DWI education, victim impact panel, and the CAT-SNP program. She's had 7 negative drug tests. She is currently testing on Smart Start Mobile at 4 times a day. She has had 15 skips and 0 high bracs. There was a malfunction with the machine, which did attribute to 4 consecutive skips, but the 11 other skips have been all over the different time frames. And this is her second violation report, but her first motion to revoke, and her officer is recommending that she be continued on probation.
The elephant in the room, why are we missing blows on the machine, Ms. Heron?
Yes, sir. For the 11 missed tests, it was back in May, and I'm not too sure as to, I don't have an explanation for that. But I have been consistent with trying to get the test done on time. I am currently in school. I do work a job, and I do have a 2-year-old son.
Where are you in school and what are you studying?
I'm studying criminology, and I'm going to UTSA.
Okay, great. And what job do you have?
I work at a call center. I just started July 12th.
And when you get a degree in criminology, what do you want to do with it?
I want to be a private investigator.
Okay. And why are we not paying any money?
I didn't have any money at the time, but I do plan on making the full amount whenever I get my paycheck.
Okay, if you're in a position where you can't afford to pay the fine and court costs, et cetera, you can get with your probation officer and do additional community service hours after you finish. How many original community service hours did she have, Susan?
Judge, she had a total of 6.
6 community, well, I know that's how many she did. How many was she assigned?
6.
Really? All right, anyway, you can do additional community service hours if you wish and get credit for $10 an hour on those. So that's another option for you on the money side. As far as the skips go, the textbook solution is a scram bracelet, which costs $350 a month. But it looks to me like that you're already plus or minus $1,002 in the hole, and that's not really going to be a valid concept. Mr. Hicks, you got any idea on what we can do with Ms. Herron that would be fair to everybody and still stop her from skipping blows on this machine?
No, Jan, I don't have any ideas with regard to that. However, I believe that machine did malfunction because I know she's very vigilant and she was checking regularly. And they did show that there was something wrong with that device. Like she told you, she has a 2-year-old child and she just started working and she goes to school full time. So I don't know. I have no other ideas, Jana.
All right, I got a plan, but Ms. Herron, this is going to require your cooperation. Normally, I would give you a scram bracelet, but because of the money issue, that's not really a viable alternative under our circumstances. So here's what I'm willing to do if you're willing to cooperate. Instead of 4 blows a day, I'm going to put you on 6 blows a day on the Smart Start. If you're going to keep missing blows, I'm going to have no other option than the scram bracelet or jail, okay? But if you do well for 30 days and you don't miss any blows at 6 blows a day for 30 days and I get no hybrax or alcohol, I'll crank you back down to 4 blows. No hard feelings. You willing to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're not going to get a lot of sleep, but you got kids, you don't get sleep anyway. So it's not really a problem, is it? All right. So let me do that.
Yeah.
It's somebody else.
I still have to remind Henry.
Okay, state recommendation.
We have no objections, Judge, to
All right.
the court's recommendation.
Ms. Herron, in cause 571024, the court accepts your plea true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I deny the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation, or you continued on deferred adjudication probation with no sanction at this time, although I have the authority to put you in jail for 30 days to get your attention. Will that be necessary?
No, sir.
Good answer, ma'am. Altering and amending conditions, modifying your Smart Start mobile device from 4 blows a day to 6 blows a day within 24 hours. As previously stated, if you show me a 30-day period of time without missing any blows at 6 blows a day and no hybrax or alcohol during that time, I'll immediately crank you back down to 4 blows a day. If you do that, I will not know it. You'll need to tell your lawyer. He'll need to tell me. I'll confirm with probation and send in the order. So that's no problem on that one. Susan, I want to add weekly UAs until I get 4 clean weekly UAs, and then we can take her back to monthly. And I want substantial compliance in all other areas. She needs to either start paying some money on what she owes or start doing some community service hours at $10 an hour and get credit for it. Fair enough, Mr. Hicks?
Yes, Your Honor. Please also recall the warrant that's
I
out there.
will absolutely recall any bad things I did to Ms. Herron on the pretrial bond conditions, whatever those are, and there are all kinds of fun things I could have done or did. And thank you for reminding me. All right, anything further from the state or the defense on Ms. Herron?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Susan, you need to brief her in any way?
Yes, Ms. Herron, within the next 24 hours, you'll be getting alternate amended conditions from your officer. You need to sign those and send them back. She will also be increasing your blow times, and she will send you a list of your new times that you're going to have to test, okay?
Okay.
All right, if you don't have that by this time tomorrow, you need to call Miss Olmos and get with her so that you can get everything adjusted and all that. And if you choose to do the community service hours in lieu of paying the court costs, then you need to get with your officer on that. Don't just go out and do it, okay?
Okay.
All right, any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, you're
Is
good to
there
go.
a way that you can send her a list of where she can do the community service?
She needs to do that with her officer. No, we cannot send out a list.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Judge, can I confer with Susan and then my client and I should be ready on my case too?
You want to confer with Susan?
Yes.
No, not right now. You can do it at the end, so I'm sorry to
Okay,
keep you
yes,
hanging
no,
around.
the 187th keeps you. I'm gonna reset my case in the 187th. I'll be right back.
All right, go ahead. All right, that takes care of that one. And Ms. Lear, are you ready on Ms. Holmes' case?
I am, Judge.
This is called 627-171, State of Texas versus Larietta Homes. This is a second amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Representing the defendant is Ms. Melanie Lira, representing the state previously mentioned, representing Bexar County CSED, Ms. Susan Gross, who I remind is still under oath. The first document I need you to identify your signatures on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. And Ms. Holmes, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. And Ms. Lira, as attorney for Ms. Holmes, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. The next document I'm looking at is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal, unquote. Ms. Holmes, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes.
Thank you. And Ms. Lira, as attorney for Ms. Holmes, is this your signature on this document also?
It is.
And my understanding is this is going to be an uncontested motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Is that accurate, Ms. Lira?
It is.
Okay. Ms. Holmes, in cause 627-171 on the second amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. How do you plead, ma'am?
Not guilty.
Okay. What we got going here, this is a motion to revoke probation scenario, and we either enter a plea of true, and normally I just say true with an explanation or not true with an explanation. If it's not true, you'll need to chat with your attorney about the possibility of either pleading not true and allowing me to be the trier of fact to make a determination on whether it's true or not, or have an actual contested motion. Do you want to go into a breakout room with Ms. Holmes at this time, Ms. Lira, and discuss that with her?
No, Your Honor, we discussed this already. She's aware of that and was supposed to be pleading true.
Okay, and what are we pleading? I'm sorry?
True.
All right, and Ms. Holmes, is that right with you?
That's all right with me, Judge.
All right. Court accepts the plea of true with an explanation from Ms. Holmes in clause 627-171. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. Holmes' probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Holmes has been reporting as directed. We last saw her June 23rd of 2021. She's paid $92 towards her fees, has a balance of $635, and is delinquent $585. We have no record of any of her 24 hours of community service having been completed, and she did complete her AIDS awareness class. We have 2 positive drug tests for marijuana, 1 diluted drug test, and she has failed to submit to drug testing on 6 occasions. Her criminal history for arrests include possession of marijuana 0 to 2 ounces, possession of a dangerous drug, and possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 3, less than 28 grams. Her officer is recommending that her deferred adjudication be revoked. She be placed on regular probation. She do a 30-day jail sanction, day for day, and that she be sent to the aggressive control class at the CATS program.
My primary concern is this failure to show up for your analysis test, which indicates that she's hiding some sort of drug issue. Defense, you want to address that for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor. So I spoke at length with Ms. Holmes. It wasn't so much that she was not wanting to take the drug test. She's a single mother. She was enrolled in school as an esthetician and working full time. She was taking the bus back and forth to all these places. A few times that she did show up, they wouldn't allow her to come in anymore because it was past the time. So she did take responsibility for that and acknowledge that. I know there was communication between the probation officer of figuring out how she could get some additional resources to be able to comply with probation. It doesn't seem like the communication was going well.
Judge?
Yeah.
If I may, Ms. Holmes' probation officer is here. Miss Officer Teresa Minez. And there have been some issues with this defendant in regards to not only written, but also telephonic correspondence from the defendant being very disrespectful towards the officer. And I think that needs to be addressed.
Ms. Minez, you want to turn your microphone on and raise your right hand? I'll swear you in. State, do you wish to call Ms. Minez as a witness at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Probation can't call witnesses. You can. Do you want to, Ms. Minez, do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. State, do you wish to call Ms. Minez as a witness at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. State calls Ms. Minez.
All right, state your witness.
Ms. Minez, what's your occupation?
I am a community supervision officer for Bexar County Adult Probation.
Okay, and do you know the defendant in this case?
Yes, she is currently under my supervision.
Do you see the defendant today on Zoom?
Yes,
Please describe an article that the defendant is wearing for the record.
I believe she's wearing like a gray sweater.
Okay, and when was the last time that you had any communication with the defendant?
The last communication was a virtual office visit on June 23rd, 2021.
Okay, and has the defendant been successful in probation?
The defendant has completed the AIDS awareness program. However, the defendant has been, she has approached probation in a negative situation. I do have a voicemail recording that I can allow the court to listen to right now that she left me when she was released from jail. I also have documented emails from Ms. Laureata Holmes that I can also provide the ADA or the judge as well.
So let's start with the voicemail.
May I play the voicemail?
Well, first, when did the defendant leave that voicemail?
The defendant left the voicemail on, give me 1 second. She left the voicemail on July 29th, 2021 at 4:07 p.m.
Okay, and how do you know that the defendant's the person who actually left the voicemail?
The phone number that was left on the voicemail matched the defendant's cell phone number on her file, and it's the same phone number listed.
And did she send that to you or to who?
She sent it to my voicemail. Yes, it was left under my phone number, and that was left under my voicemails.
Okay, and so when you heard this voicemail, do you recognize the defendant's voice?
Yes, I recognized her voice. I looked at the phone number and I went into the case number, and the phone number matched the same cell phone number listed for Ms. Laureata Holmes.
Okay, and so please tell the court, what did the defendant tell you in that voicemail?
And let me break, hang on just a second, Ms. Minez. Just let me break in here for purposes of this hearing. If there were words that we would not really want to say in public on, if you just really sort of categorize that she used some sort of expletives or something, I'll understand what you're talking about, as will the rest of us. I don't really want to use any four-letter words on the air if we can help it.
Okay, so she did say a few cuss words, and she stated that for the next 10 years, mark my words, for the next 10 years, you're going to have so much bad luck, so much bad things happen to you and your family, mark my words. And then she said some more cuss words.
And how did that make you feel?
I felt like that was a threat.
And what was your reaction to that?
I immediately emailed it to the CLO so that the court could be aware of this situation. And Ms. Laureata Holmes has also emailed me emails in numerous times again, where I'm just getting repeatedly, negative comments from Ms. Laureata Holmes, not wanting to comply, being very resistant with her compliance.
So is it common that a probationer leaves those voicemails to a PO?
I'm sorry?
Is it, do you get that type of voicemails often?
No.
From defendants? Okay. And are you scared of the defendant?
I feel like that was a threat. Yes, I feel like that was in fear of my, of my life. Yes, because I don't know what she meant by that voicemail.
Okay. Your Honor, I know that we're on Zoom. The state moves to, I say if we can call it State's Exhibit number 1. The state moves to admit State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence.
Is that a verbatim transcript of the phone conversation or the message that was left by the defendant? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, Your Honor. And I believe I think Ms. Lira has access to that as well.
I'm not going to need that under the circumstances. Defense, if you want that in, I'll certainly let it in, but I don't want to make this program any longer than necessary.
No, Judge, we object.
All right. I certainly have the gist of the probation officer's testimony and understand pretty clearly exactly what she's talking about. So that, with all due respect to the state, respectfully deny the admission of this document. I understand from the oral testimony of the witness exactly what happened. So any further questions from the state for this witness?
Just one more question, Judge.
Sure.
Please explain to the court what happened between you and the defendant, and let's talk about the emails that she sent.
Yes. On June 9th, I emailed the defendant informing her she had to submit to weekly drug testing. She was very resistant and stated she couldn't afford. She didn't understand. She also emailed stating, this is a damn prostitution case, not a drug-related case. On the email, I have documentation from her on email. She just also went on saying that, was she going to be reimbursed? That she has children, she has other bills to pay. She was just very resistant, and I have all these documentations from June 9th, and she was just resistant about submitting to the weekly drug testing.
Okay. I pass the witness, Judge.
Defense, do you have any questions for this witness?
Just a couple, Your Honor.
Sure.
Would you say that the main issue that Ms. Holmes was having was financial and not necessarily probation as a whole?
I would say she was resistant with probation.
She had been in contact with you, correct?
Yes.
And she had done at least a few UAs, correct?
She had done 3 UAs, yes.
In the time that she was placed on probation, correct?
Correct.
And she did complete the AIDS awareness class?
Yes, that's correct.
And the issues came up with what you call resistance only when she was told that she would now have to be paying an additional $10 every week for the UAs, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you very much for your testimony, Ms. Minez. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. State recommendation.
Your Honor, I believe that the defendant in this case needs to be adequately supervised. So the state recommends the court enters an adjudication of guilt, revoke, community supervision, Judge, and we also recommend a fully probated $200 fine, court costs, 6 months Bexar County Jail, probated for 6 months, 24 hours of community service restitution, regular UAs, and also enrollment in the hostility management and aggression control through the CATS program.
Defense, do you have anything further?
Your Honor, we are in agreement with that, and we're also seeking to change probation officers if she is allowed to continue on probation for everyone's, sanity.
Judge, due to the nature of the setup of the department, that will not be possible. There's only one officer in that office that handles County Court 6 cases.
Okay, and let me back up. Defense, you seem to indicate that you had what I would call a plea bargain or an agreement with the state on the outcome of this case. Is that accurate?
Correct. What Mr. Flores just cited to the court is what we had an agreement on.
Okay, and both you and Ms. Holmes know that I'm not bound by any agreement you and the state may have made with regard to the outcome of this motion to adjudicate?
I do, Your Honor, and I've explained that to Ms. Holmes as well.
Anything further from the state of the defense before I rule?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Holmes, in cause 627171, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to adjudicate. Let's see what we're talking about here. I'm sorry, the second amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication probation. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of prostitution. I sentence you to 90 days in the Bexar County Jail. It says $1,000 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. You're to report to the Bexar County Jail at 9:00 a.m. on Monday, August the 9th, 2021 to serve your sentence. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Holmes?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense.
Good luck, Ms. Holmes. Thank you, Ms. Lira.
And Judge, can you verify that was $1,000 fine?
Yes, 90 days in jail. I could have put her in jail for 6 months. I didn't. She's done some things. So she gets credit for that. So she's only doing 90 days, and the maximum sentence, fine I could have given her was 2,000. I gave her half of that. That's 1,000.
Thank you, Judge.
So there you go. Good luck. All right, we're ready on Mr. Reinhardt's case, Mr. Lamas.
Good morning, Your Honor. We're not
Sure.
quite ready on that. Sorry for my tardiness. If I could talk to the CLO for a little bit to get
All
some
right,
information on it.
here's our problem, and I love all you attorneys to death, but y'all got to understand you can't do all your background research on these cases on the day the hearing is set. You got plenty of time before the hearing to contact the state and the probation officer anytime you want. Now, we're going to go ahead and let you talk to them today, but you're going to have to wait till I get these other ones out of the way before I can spare her. I only have one probation officer.
I
So,
appreciate it, Your Honor.
if it's okay with you, just hang on a few minutes until we get these other ones resolved, and I'll let you go.
Your
chat with
Honor,
them. Yeah,
Your Honor, Mr. Velo's paperwork was sent to you.
and I got it.
Good.
And
And
Judge, I'm sorry, Pat, go ahead, finish.
And Robert Mauer has left to go to the other court. So the only one I think that we would have ready would be Mr. Velos.
I'm sorry, what about Mr. Maurer?
Mr. Mauer has checked out, Your Honor. He's in another court at this
Right.
point.
Did he not indicate that he's coming back, or did he tell you something different?
Yes, he is coming back, Your Honor.
All right, no problem. We're good on that. So
And-
with regard, yes, go ahead.
Judge, the other problem we're having is the attorneys are waiting until the day of the hearing to request documents. You know, I'm in the middle of hearings. I don't have time to be stopping and doing
I
that.
know. All attorneys, consider yourself yelled at. Next time, don't do that. Get all this stuff in advance. We're good. Okay, so are we ready on Mr. Velos, Ms. Reed?
Yes.
All right, this is cause 625062, State of Texas versus Christopher Velos, represented by Ms. Sydney Reed. The first document I need both of you to identify your signatures on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. In fact, Mr. Velos, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Reed is the attorney for Mr. Velos. I believe Mr. Ritchie was the original attorney on, is this his signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has the right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Mr. Velos, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Reed, once again, can you identify Mr. Ritchie's signature on this document as a previous attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a first amended motion to revoke community supervision. My understanding is this is an uncontested first amended motion to revoke community supervision. Is that correct, Ms. Reed?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Velos, in cause 625062 on the first amended motion to revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
True.
Thank you. And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Velos' probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Velos has been reporting as directed. We last saw him on July 12th of 2021. He has paid $412 towards his fees. He has a balance of $1,064, and he is delinquent $174. We have no record of any of his 48 hours community service having been completed. He has completed the victim impact panel, and we have no proof of completion of DWI education or the CATSNP program. We do have 2 positive drug tests for marijuana. He's currently testing on Smart Start Mobile at 4 times a day. and to date, he has had 3 skip tests. His officer is recommending that he undergo weekly drug testing and that he shows substantial compliance within 30 days.
And defense, what are you requesting?
We don't have any objection to the recommendations by probation.
Okay, state recommendation?
The state agrees with that same recommendation, Judge.
Okay. And the 3 testing windows, April 9th through May 19th, that's in about a month or a little more than a month's time. Does that sound right, Susan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So really our big issue here is marijuana.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Velos, you gonna stop hanging out with your buddies smoking marijuana?
I mean, the thing is, sir, like I know I haven't smoked marijuana since I believe it was in early March, but the thing was, it was the Delta 8, so I don't know if that like sticks in the system longer or anything, but I mean, I'm doing everything I can to try to comply with everything. Like I'm working, like I have finished the DWI education. I needed to submit I guess the receipt. That's what I was going to do the day she had us arrested. And then the cat snip I'm right in the middle of. That was my 5th week that I was going to go to.
Good answer. I like it. It's all good. Okay, Mr. Velos in clause 625-062. On the first amended motion to revoke community supervision, the court accepts your plea of true. I deny the state's motion to revoke your probation. Or you continued on probation with all prior requirements. How long have you been in jail on this thing?
Since the 23rd.
So since when? I'm sorry, Tuesday?
The 23rd of July.
Your Honor, he has 11 days credit.
All right. I'm going to give you a sanction of 30 days, Bear County Jail, credit for time served, judgment satisfied. And alternate amendment conditions, adding the DOEP course and weekly UAs. Once you show me 4 clean weekly UAs in a row, I'm going to waive your weekly UAs and put you back on monthly that everybody's on anyway. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
And substantial compliance, which apparently you're already doing. You're already in the CATS course and doing all good and the good things there. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Velos?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Velos. Thank you, Ms. Reed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Velos, you will be receiving an email from your officer within the next 24 hours. You will need to sign that document and send it back to her, and she will get you set up on the call-in line for the weekly drug testing, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions?
I wanted to make sure that the missed blows while I've been in here aren't going to count against me or anything.
No, we know where you're at, and hopefully you weren't able to access any alcohol while you were there.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Benavides, it looks like all we have left is Carissa Navarro and Tommy Reinhardt. Does that sound right?
And we do have Mr. Mauer in, or he was in, I put him in. I don't know where he is now. But we do have Mr. Reinhardt and Ms. Navarro. Those are the only ones.
And Mr. Lamas, you need to talk to who? The probation officer?
Actually, Your Honor, if I can just get a breakout room with the ADA real quick, I think we can knock it out real quick.
Sure. One of the ADAs, please go wrestle with Mr. Lamas in the breakout room.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll go to 1, and I will put Mr. Lamas in 1
Go to 1.
as soon as I find him. That's interesting.
Judge, may I excuse myself for 2 minutes, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
2-minute break.
Your Honor,
Yep.
I was able to order Mr. Locke's defendant for this afternoon.
Good. And you got Judge Joanne that's going to represent him or somebody who is a Spanish
No,
speaker?
Judge Joanne is representing Mr. Rodriguez, who was scheduled for this morning, but Shannon Locke had asked you about a guy who had.
All right. Sure. I told him that it was okay with me and that he should blame it on me and not him that I let him do it today.
I informed him that he owed me big time, and I also told Mr. Casares, Tony, when I asked him if he could get him, that I owed him big time.
All true. And Susan, or is, oh, we lost Susan now.
Yeah. So I will be sending an updated list to the prosecutors, Susan, and you with the new additions, Your Honor, for this afternoon.
All right. Okay, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. Everybody stay calm.
And I'm back, Judge.
Susan, I'm going to send an updated list for everybody tomorrow, this afternoon, so that way you know who you've got.
All right, I haven't had a chance to send that one because I had
Yeah.
other attorneys asking me for documents.
Oh, I know. I understand. Been there, done that.
Hello, Pat. While the judge is away, can I just get a breakout room with my client just to let him know what's going on before doing the plea?
You can go back into one and then I'll put him in the breakout room.
Thank you, ma'am.
So we'll have 3 this afternoon, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I'm sending the paperwork right now to everybody. So
Well, I'm downloading all that information because it's not in my usual file because it wasn't on the docket. So
I know, and I'm sorry, but
no, that's fine. Not your fault.
I'm doing 20,000 things at one time as well. Okay.
Pat, my client is having trouble with his speaker. He can hear fine, so he's going to log into his laptop to see if that helps. But we have a resolution on this case.
Okay, hold on. I'm just renaming him so that we know that it is him.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm using a work laptop. It's under
It's
my
okay.
button.
It's working.
We can hear you just
We
fine.
got you. You're fine.
I'm glad others are computer challenged.
Okay, Your Honor, I think we're okay now.
All
Yeah,
right,
we're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
back on the record on cause 549982, State of Texas versus Tommy Reinhardt. Mr. Lamas, are you ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
Okay, this is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. The first document I need both Mr. Lamas and Mr. Reinhardt to identify their signatures on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Mr. Reinhardt, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Lamas as attorney for Mr. Reinhardt.
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Mr. Reinhardt, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Lamas, as attorney for Mr. Reinhardt, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Previously mentioned, representing the state, as already on the record, representing the Bexar County CSCD, Ms. Susan Gross, who I remind is still under oath. Mr. Lamas, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to adjudicate. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Reinhardt, in cause 549982 on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. How do you plead, sir?
True.
And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Reinhardt's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Reinhardt has performed very poorly on probation in that he only ever reported twice. We've not seen him since February 16th of 2018. He has not paid anything and he has a balance of $877. He did do 12 hours of community service. He had 2 positive drug tests for marijuana and 1 diluted drug test. He did complete the drug offender education program. He has no criminal history. This is his first violation report, first motion to revoke. And his officer is recommending that his probation be terminated unsat.
Okay, defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, would be agreeing with that recommendation to close this case unsatisfactory.
And Susan, he owes $877. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state recommendation?
It agrees with probation's recommendation, Judge.
Need to do a little writing here, guys. Hang on a second.
And Judge, for the record, also, the case did expire on March 4th of 2018.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Reinhardt, in cause 549982, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to adjudicate with an explanation. I grant the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication. I adjudicate you guilty of the offense of possession of marijuana, 0 to 2 ounces. I sentence you to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail. It says a $2,000 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. You report to the Bexar County Jail at 9:00 a.m. on August 16th, 2021, which is a Monday, 2 Mondays from now. However, if you pay in full the $877 you owe the probation department before that date and time, I will waive your jail sentence.
Your Honor, just one more time. I paid the $878 by.
In other words, I'm giving you a maximum sentence because you went AWOL on me. However, you still owe the probation department $877. If you pay them that $877 before 9:00 a.m. on August 16th, 2021, which is about 2 weeks away, week and a half away, I'm going to waive your jail sentence. I won't know you paid him if you paid him. You got to let your attorney know. He'll let me know, and I'll confirm with probation. And I just write on, send into the order to the record, alternate amend waive jail sentence. So you will not be doing any jail time. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lamas, do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to go in the chat room and make sure that Mr. Reinhardt understands. Basically, he wins and we win. He's got a record now, but he's just paying his money, and I'm not going to put him in jail. So that's kind of where we're at. That's the only legal way I know to do that.
Okay, yeah, if we can get a breakout room.
You can go back, both of you can go back into one.
Wait 1 second, Mr. Reinhardt.
Yes,
You need to
ma'am.
pay either cash, cashier's check, or money order to the main probation department at 207 North Comal. And on top of that $877, there will be a $2 processing fee.
He said the address is what?
207 North Comal. It's that 4-story building across the street from the jail by the parking lot. You're going to go in on the left side of the building.
And you said by August 16th by 9 a.m. that needs to be paid?
Yes, the sooner
And
the
the
better.
amount, and the amount is $877, correct?
877 plus 2.
Oh, plus 2. Okay.
All right, you can go into your breakout room. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all can join back to where you were.
I'm not sure how to do that.
Even though he's on a new device, is he still?
Oh, you know what? You're right. Let me
Yeah, I'm
put
on
you
the
in.
web
Let me
now.
put you in 2, and that way you'll see that show up. That's fine. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, go into room 2. You should be able to see it. A join button. I know I put you in there, Mr. Reinhardt.
I see a blue. Oh, it's still on my cell phone right now.
Interesting.
It's not showing up on my computer, but it's showing up on my cell phone. But I wasn't getting any.
Okay,
audio.
hold on. Let me do that then. Hold on. I'll get you.
Maybe I end the Zoom call on my cell
Right.
phone.
How about there? Right there.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh,